What's happening, everybody? How's it going today? This is Can I Get More Podcasts in My Monitor. I am Johnny Ruckus. I hope everybody is doing real good today. I have a wonderful show for you today. A couple of my best friends, my brothers, we played in 215 together. We talk a whole bunch about that. Just have a great conversation. Corey Schmidt, guitar player from 215, current guitar player in 3 Left, as well as Eric Peters, drummer and vocalist from 215. I've known him for the better part of 10 years now. We just had a great conversation between the three of us. We were almost going to have 4, but a last-minute scheduling conflict, kind of put the kibosh on that. But we talk about that in the episode. So, the only other thing is I'm going to get heat. I have an opinion that took Corey by surprise, and I am going to get heat. So, you're just going to have to listen and let me know if you agree or disagree. I'm going to assume that most people will disagree with my opinion, but that's all right. That's all right. So listen through the episode and yell at me on social media or whatever in the comments when we get to where I'm talking about. You'll understand. And then we have some fun announcements and a premiere of a song. So listen through all the way to the end. We're going to premiere the song at the end. Little teaser here. It is a 3 Left song, new 3 Left song. So we're going to tease that there. And then I have another announcement I want to make towards the end. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Now to my brothers, Corey Schmidt, Eric Peters. Enjoy. Thank you. Woo! All right. We got Eric's on the screen. Say hi, Eric. He's going to ghost me. You son of a whatever. You're going to do, oh yeah, he's got red light syndrome now. Is this what this is? Oh,
Great,
yeah.
Might go limp again.
Oh, who's talking? Oh, that's Corey. Say hi, Corey.
What's up, guys?
Oh, say
hi, Johnny.
Oh, there we go. There it is. Back to Eric. You're not going to say nothing now. He's going to ghost me. Oh, there was a noise. All right, well, fine.
The asshole drummer playing in effect right now. Okay.
I know, right? He doesn't even have the shirt on. He doesn't even have the shirt on. All right, we got Eric and Corey here, and he's going to act. Eric is going to act like every time he's going to speak, I cut him off. This is how this is going to roll. So we're gonna talk to Pants, Corey Pants, Corduroy Pants.
Hi.
He's in 3 Left and he's playing shows. That's weird. Is that weird? Does it feel weird?
Look, okay. So
Yeah, there it is.
Interrupts me. There it was.
I wanted to hear the intro, the whole
Start over.
Hi.
Well, that's gonna,
Hi.
that's
I'm
gonna be in
Jonathan
post.
Smith.
That's going to be in post because I don't know when this is going to air.
Oh,
because I'm not going live. I could go live on Twitch, but I'm not going to.
Since we're not live, then we're not. We don't count.
Oh no, you count plenty.
Okay.
There's obviously more of you than me, so you count more than me. Yeah,
It's a lot of math.
it is. It is mathing on this Saturday or whatever we're recording this.
Okay. Yeah.
Slight confusion.
It's fucking Saturday. I don't know when I'm going to play this thing, but we're going to record because we're in the same room.
Okay.
We almost had all 4 of us. The 215ers here. I shouldn't say that because isn't there a band called the 215s or something like that? I better watch out.
I don't know.
Watch
no.
out. I've been
The only
watching
one I know
Kenny.
is
I better watch out.
215. I think we'll be right.
But we almost had all 4.
Would have been
And
tight.
then,
Would have been tight fitting in here.
Yeah, but we would have got sweaty together like always. It would have been like good times again, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, well, we're just going to cut it off there. And shit got weird, and that's just what it is. So, all right, see you later. No, I'm kidding. We almost had all 4. Would have been the first time we've all been in the same room in like a year and a half. And then that got canceled because the Toddski, the toddler, if you will, hashtag the toddler.
I think he likes
Yeah,
that one.
He does like that.
He likes that one.
actually
Toddski, or
commented.
is it Todder?
I like the. I put hashtag the toddler,
The toddler, yes.
and he actually reacted on that. That was
Yeah,
when we
that's
when we
good.
first
He likes
when
that.
we first started doing shows again because he doesn't have like Instagram or anything. I would put hashtag the toddler on him, and then like when I started doing the pictures again, I put hashtag the toddler, and he was like, "That's a nice hashtag." But we almost had the 4, but we don't. But we have 3, so that's pretty damn good. So, how you guys doing, man?
Good, man.
Yeah.
It's good.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Very good.
Should get a little closer.
I told
You
you.
can roll that thing. Oh, it's going to be difficult.
I
All
don't.
right, fine.
I don't like big things
things
in
in
my
your-
face.
Well, that's why you put the little thing.
You gonna learn today.
That's why I had the
Headset.
little thing in my face.
You gonna learn today.
Well, he doesn't want to learn. He's a father now. He doesn't want to learn about other things.
He wants to be a dad.
He's a dad.
He wants to be a dad.
Daddy. Daddy.
Oh,
If only they
this
knew.
is how it's going to be. And that's fine. What'd you say?
If only they do the jokes.
Yeah, there's just a warning.
Oh,
There's
man.
going to be tons of inside shit going on here. So that's just how it is. That's how it is.
It's good to be back with you guys again. Though.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's been fucking long. Because we went and saw you at Rock Country.
Yes.
Shout out to Rock Country. And that was the last time I think that was the last time we hung out.
yeah.
Maybe? I don't even remember when that was. That was late last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Or
Well, we hung out before too at a show at Rock Country too. We went and saw Conniption, and I think it was Hammerstein and Slowburn too. That was a fun show.
yeah. But that's the last time that we've been in the
Oh,
same
okay.
room.
Yeah. Right.
You know,
Right.
Seeing Pants play
That's me.
play music with a mic in his face. That was the first thing. I said they put a fucking mic in his face.
That's even what I said. I was like, oh boy,
Yeah. Well,
a lot can go wrong here.
yeah, but
you
you know,
know,
live,
it's-
like you're just saying, Eric, is that they just put it there. They probably had you on mute.
Probably.
It was just a prop. It's a prop.
I just tried to make myself look cool.
Just move your lips.
You have a
Right.
red and black ESP. I think you look cool.
Eh,
And you have a Mesa
guess,
cab.
yeah.
It makes you automatically look cool. You get street cred for that shit.
I guess.
What, pulling around
I
a 100,
guess, yeah.
120-pound cab. You got fucking
Oh,
street.
Yeah. The anchor.
before when I
hire
didn't have
somebody to move that
casters.
fucking thing
Oh
yet?
no. Before I didn't have casters on it, so it was. It was so what you said was pretty accurate. It was hard to move that thing around.
You know that,
but
that 212
now it's
that
a little easier. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No
But,
casters.
oh
Did they come off? You got the removable ones?
no, it's just the stationary ones
Oh,
that
word.
are on there. Yeah, so it's the ones that lock and everything. You know,
Yeah.
that whole spiel. But
Even
it's a
with-
lifesaver because that bitch is heavy as fuck.
That fucker is. I bet it's 100 fucking pounds, literally,
Yes.
right?
Yes, but
Probably.
the
At least-
British Celestians in it make it sound sexy as hell. So
Yeah.
yes,
there was
well,
vintage 30s in
yeah,
those.
oh yeah,
Okay.
better than the other cab I had.
Oh,
I was with.
you were
I'm
married
sorry.
to that fucking thing. bro.
Yeah, but it was,
He loved it so much.
He did love it. He did love it, and then his
but then,
and then his eyes.
But then,
opened up.
but then I started to learn.
Yeah,
and then
well.
it would.
That's hey, you know.
Yeah.
You know, I always thought that, you know, because we had you know, with you, we had a short run, you know, in 215,
Yes.
unfortunately. But I always
Short,
thought
but a great run.
In the back of my head, I was like, he's just going to move on to bigger, better things. I always thought that. I never said it, but I was just like, yeah, he's really good. He's going to get sick of us or something eventually.
No, it was. It
He's
wasn't
gonna
that.
He's gonna. I just figured you
Yeah,
were gonna get an
right,
offer,
Right.
and it was gonna be like, "Yeah, I gotta do this." And we're like, "Yeah, you gotta do it."
With the set. It's fine. Just,
You know,
just go.
I'm
Different
sorry,
circumstances, I thought,
Yeah.
but nonetheless, like I figured. So no, that is awesome. But
Yeah, thank
I
you.
hope. I think like I helped you
You
with
did.
some shit.
Yes. And you know, without moving on, I wouldn't have known as much if it wasn't for you guys. And that's I'm being serious about
Yeah.
that. I learned a lot, and still learning.
Yeah,
You know,
oh yeah, it's a kid,
it's
not only
never ending.
yeah,
you know,
not only
so,
playing, but then just figuring
yeah, I
out
learned a
all the other
lot.
shit.
I struggled with capturing the right tone
Yeah.
back then, and I learned that a lot from both of you, for sure. So, and yeah, it's
You were married to that Ibanez pedal or whatever the fuck. What was that?
It was a Rev G4.
No. Before that,
Oh, the Hardwire TL2.
is that what
Yeah,
that is?
that's what
Yeah,
that
oh, yeah.
was. That thing was all the
Oh,
battery and
loved
the
it.
thing was, dude.
We tried.
All the circuitry and wires in that thing were just. Yeah. Now did a little different. Just
Yeah,
going
it
foot
works.
switch through an EVH. It sounds so nice.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah.
No, those are that's a.
I've learned a lot to like what I was trying to do was trying to use a distortion pedal into a Marshall clean, and it just sounded very just rough and just not fat,
No.
and it wasn't
no,
just did not work.
And the I tried to. I remember when you.
through an ESP with EMG pickups. It's like
it was pushing it.
yeah,
What
it was
I
too
tried
much
to do
for what it was.
Is you did
But-
when we recorded the last thing. You wanted to put one more solo in, so I was like,
Yes, quicksand. Yes.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
didn't.
it was quicksand.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. You didn't bring your. He's like, should I bring my cab? I said no. Because I have that 212.
Okay.
The 212. Or no, you brought it. You did bring it. But I was like, well, let's put the 212 too. So we kind of fucked with it.
Right.
And then we hooked up his, not the Mesa, the old one, people. We hooked up his, and then I'm like, hold on. Let me just do some switcheroony. And all of a sudden, you could just kind of see him go. Like something happened. A little something happened. He tried to no-sell it. But I was just
okay.
kind of going back and forth. I said, oh,
I was stubborn about it.
I was
that's
trying
for
to. I was trying to make him make the
But,
decision, the right decision.
In my head, I was
kid,
like,
this is what you want.
Yeah.
It's like the devil on one shoulder,
Yeah.
telling me one thing,
I
and
said,
then
well,
it's like,
if you, because
Stick
I
with-
bought
then,
the,
the angel's like,
I had
Stick
the,
with it. You'll like it.
yeah,
no,
there you go.
but no, it
You
didn't.
want it.
Yeah.
You don't want it. You
No,
don't.
But
this
I
isn't gonna work for you.
had the combo, so I wasn't using that cab anymore. So I said, well, if you want to use it, you're more than welcome to. It was one of those.
Right.
But
Give
I
it a
could-
shot.
I could
Right.
see it, and you're just like, motherfucker's right.
Yeah,
This fat
were,
guy
but-
for one time is fucking
but
right.
using other people's equipment at the time, I was like, I mean.
I hear you.
Yeah,
No,
I'm not.
it's
I'm
all
not one
in-
of those guys to be responsible for that, But I mean, it was obviously a better tone.
It
That's
was-
for sure.
It's all
So,
in
yeah.
the. It's all in
Yeah.
the journey.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Like
Money was tight at the time too.
Yeah.
So I mean,
absolutely.
it's,
Money's always a fucking.
and I needed to learn a little bit, and
Money's always.
watching all those pedal shows and
Yeah.
all that, the riffs and beards and all that stuff on Instagram helped
Yeah.
out a lot too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Messaging you, talking to
Yeah.
you about it, and everything. It was.
Yeah, you get
It was
all
fun.
sorts of different ideas and where things come from, and then you're like,
Absolutely.
shit, that works better than what I got. And then you're just like, well, can I? Like when you got that rev pedal, that was like,
I actually have everything, like my whole pedal and guitar here with me. I will show it to you.
oh,
here in a
nice,
second. Yeah,
excellent,
so,
yeah. We'll definitely have to nerd out, but it's like, like money was tight,
Yes.
so you got the rev pedal, which was probably just a giant upgrade just in that respect.
Well, yeah, considering
what you
the
have.
hardware
Yeah,
that
yeah,
I've
yeah.
had for
Which-
like 4 years, that just was fried.
Oh well, and it was
Yeah,
no offense to that, but it
No.
sucked. It sucked, but it is. But that, but it is what it was.
Yeah.
We
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it's like, but okay. Well, what can I do with what I have financially, and make it work with what I have?
And I did the best I could with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah,
and then you upgraded now, and that's that's unless your
But
ear changes, that's a rig that you can run. That's a pro rig
right.
that you can run. You could run that fucker forever.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
That setup. That's a fucking killer setup. And then with your guitars, done.
Yeah.
You
right.
really. You don't need anything now. Of course, we're guitar players and
No.
guitar nerds,
But-
so it's like you want more shit.
But
'cause
whenever
you're
I
gonna
see
want
new
it.
guitars, it's just like, oh,
Well, yeah, you're just like
you
fuck
need to,
everybody.
you need to
and just
be,
go
you
buy
need
it.
to belong in my hand.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. But just in a sense of you don't have to search for anything now.
No.
So that's a
So
pretty
it's-
sick point to be at.
Yes.
You know,
it
where
is.
you don't have to search.
It is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. So you guys were okay. So I don't know if I mentioned it, but Corey is in 3 Left now. They've been busy through this quarantine, this COVID-19, the Cove Dog.
Yeah.
They've been
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
really
yeah.
busy through that. You guys recorded some shit, and then you've been playing shows. I don't know if I said that before, but
Yes.
playing shows. What is that like now?
We've done 2 this year. We were gonna play with Puddle of Mud and Mixed Company. Shout out to those guys. But that got canceled.
Yeah.
And well, it originally got rescheduled, and then Puddle of Mud decided to cancel their whole tour.
Sure.
And just off the bat, and I was just like, oh, bummer. You know, I've listened to these guys ever since I was in like middle school, and you know, their first album was awesome. You know, to have the opportunity to play a show with them, I would have thought would have never happened.
Yeah.
At that point, with me listening to them, be like, you know, yeah, right. But yeah, that didn't happen. So, but then we got on a bill with Tantric and Saint Tragedy. Shout out to another Saint Tragedy.
Yeah.
You know,
Shout out.
We love those guys. You know.
Fucking Wayne.
Oh yeah.
He has the most beautiful hair in the game.
Yep.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Wayne Wigington.
Mr. Wayne and
Yeah. So that you played there. That was
Yeah.
in what was that, Kansasville or whatever? Was
that
there?
was 1175.
Yeah.
So
I've seen a bunch of that. How cool is that place?
It's
is
fun.
it cool?
It's
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, it's fun to play there.
Okay. So that went well. Did you get to interact with Tantric at all or anything like that? Or was that
Yeah, I met up with Hugo at the
Okay.
end. Yeah, he took a picture with him. They were talking about how they were in like bunch of traffic on the way from Chicago all the way up here. I think they're from. I'm not sure where they're from, but they're not. Not from like in the inner city area. I think I could be wrong on that.
I don't know.
But they were just complaining about the traffic through Chicago when they were driving.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But,
I'm
you
sure
know.
that was a fucking nightmare.
Yeah.
Well,
those
and then
guys are
probably
cool
do
though.
one-
I mean, Tantric was pretty cool back then. You know, I mean, because what it was it was Days of the New.
Yep.
That started.
Yep.
And then the band members from Days of the New went to Hugo to form Tantric, and then I think they left and went back to Days of the New, and then Hugo's like, well, all right, now I got to find more band members.
So
You know,
Hugo wasn't.
I think-
wasn't he? I thought he was the singer in Days of the New. Or am I wrong?
No,
Oh,
he
okay.
was not. Yeah, no.
Oh yeah,
think it
yeah. The
was-
whole band split from Days of the New.
I forgot his name.
The
Yeah.
singer, yeah. Shout out to Days of the New, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. The band quit because they were sick of dude shit.
Yes.
And then that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I wasn't like
So I was all like, "Oh, the band members from Days of the New are going to be playing. That's cool too." And then I found out about it. I was like, "Well, then they left," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Well, I mean, they were good though. They're a
Yeah.
good band,
Yeah.
And
they played that one in I can't remember what the hell it's called. The one in Beaver Dam. The one that we Stormies. They
Okay.
played there at least once or a couple of times.
Tantric.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Stormies is kind of like the 1175.
Oh, right on.
It's kind of it's a
And
smaller
where is
club, but they have in Beaver Dam.
Okay.
It's a smaller place, I guess, but they have like touring bands and shit come
I
here.
think we were gonna actually get on a bill there at one point.
I was trying to.
Yeah,
Oh,
we were,
215?
Yeah, yes.
I think you were trying to
I
get-
tried,
yeah.
but the guy.
Yeah.
No email. He didn't
Yeah.
email me back. He ghosted my ass. But yeah, it is what it is with that. But yeah, I'm sure that would have happened at some point. But okay, so you played there. Yeah, that.
Yeah, then we
it's-
did Rock Country. That was with Benjamin Trick and 20 Watt Tombstone. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, but that was pre.
That was
was pre the Cove Dog.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So then after that, we've just been practicing like 2 times a week, and
Yeah.
that was pretty much all we could do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, you guys did like 1 or 2 lives or something like that.
Yeah, we did.
right?
Facebook Live. That was fun.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
it is. It's difficult too, especially if you just set up a phone
Right.
or something like that, because it's
Yeah,
it's
the quality
impossible
wasn't
to get
that
fucking
really that
sound.
great, but yeah, that was right in the heart of when they were like, stay home. This.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
And then we were
yeah,
out.
you're like
we were out.
breaking the rules, like, oh
we
my
were
God,
out.
they're practicing.
Like
Yeah, they're
these
together.
guys are breaking the rules. They're on. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So No, that's cool. It's so weird to think that it's weird when you see people playing shows. Like
Yeah,
for me, it's just
it
like
is.
they're playing shows. It's awesome. It's like, wait, should they be playing shows? Like, why is that even fucking there?
Right. It's like I have this app on my phone that says like it's called Bands in Town.
Yeah.
And so like I always see like Lamb of God live stream or any kind of band, whatever. I just use them as an example. But like then when you see them like at so and so theater or at Rave Eagles, it's like, oh really? Like
No.
wow.
No, false alarm.
Right.
It's in 2021.
Yeah. No. This is got to get with the program here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, but it's at least we're all not stopping and doing what we fighting through it.
Yeah, and it, obviously we all have
doesn't
like
stop
day
yet.
jobs and shit.
Yeah.
But like there's so many people that don't.
Right.
Like 20 Watt. Tom,
Yes.
Tom, that's how he pays
he's
his bills with
yeah.
rock and roll.
Right.
So it's like shout out to Tom and Mitch, 20 Watt too.
Absolutely. Yeah,
But-
those guys are awesome.
He's he's trying to get creative and doing all these things that he can, but it's
Doing
like
lessons now from the last I've heard from
yeah,
what
he's trying
doing.
that.
Yeah.
He's
He's done all kinds of things. I think.
gotta,
Yeah.
especially if, he just
Yeah,
got
that's
over.
unfortunate
I thought he
for them,
was.
yeah.
I thought he was pimping out Mitch again.
Could be.
Mitch has got great hair too.
Listen,
And
listen,
he
if he's looking away from you
well,
and it's dark enough,
and we've all seen.
You know
his
my
ass.
rule.
We've all seen his ass. So I mean, it's like
that's true. That's true.
shout out to Mitch's ass. Yeah, but it's just like what do you do?
I died.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Oh, is he okay? It's not the Cove Dog, people. It's not the Cove Dog. It's all right.
No, it's the vitamin water.
Yeah, that stuff's pretty decent. It's pretty decent,
It's the orange.
Yeah.
It's DCO.
So we might as well talk to Eric here now.
There's no point.
There's no point. Well, whatever.
I can't breathe. I shouldn't say that right now.
I want to switch the conversation to him, and now he's dying. Oh my god. So what? So are you seeing stars?
You went
No.
there. I can't believe it.
Oh, you're seeing stars.
Don't put a mic in front of me.
That's fine.
I might say stuff.
That's all right. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't because no one knows who I am.
Might have
No,
to
and no one listens anyways.
we might have to keep that thing limp after all.
Microphone.
Microphone. All right, so Eric, for those who don't know, probably because you probably don't know because he was the drummer in 215, and you never see the drummer. There's always a headstock or a cymbal or the lights are off, but he would make drum noises as well as he would sing.
No, that's good description. Drum noises. Is perfect.
And
Yes.
people would be like, "Where's that voice
behind
coming from?"
He was behind the live drum programming.
Yeah.
And he would also sing and scream, and everybody would go, "Are they using tracks?"
That was good.
We got that. You
We
got
did-
that.
yeah.
we got that. Wow, you guys use tracks. You guys are really tight. What are you talking about? Well, the other vocal. Yeah, that's Eric. Eric, who's that? The drummer. You guys have a drummer?
I was just telling you.
Yeah.
So that's what life is like for a drummer, but that's all right. Because that's
For
how
a drummer
life
that
has been.
sings. Yeah.
That's how life has been for drummers for,
Yeah.
ever, But
You want to be in the back? This is what you get.
This is what you get, but you can be really loud too. So
Right.
no one tells the drummer to turn down.
You can't really.
No, I'm not doing it. Simple as that. No.
You want to play lighter?
Yeah.
What?
What? Why?
I have a stick
Yeah. Right.
and I can hit
You can
things.
you can be amplified without being amplified.
Correct.
So fuck them. So when did you
You're a basher.
start doing drums? When did you start learning drums?
5.
5 years old? Just
Not on a drum set.
well, sure.
Pots and pans, baby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Pots and pans.
It was just a thing. Like, do you? Is there anything that you
I
can refer to?
I wouldn't say 5 years old, but as a young kid, I remember like literally going in the kitchen, grabbing a pot, grabbing a pan, grabbing some Tupperware, probably like a what was that butter? country crock,
Yeah.
like an empty container, because
Sure.
that was Tupperware back in the day.
Oh yeah. Okay.
What
It still
were your
is.
drumsticks?
That's pencils.
Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
Whatever.
whatever I could find.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But no, I was
Knives.
always interested in like just
Hitting shit.
just hitting shit.
Did you? Was it? I'm sure most of the time for kids they just want to hit shit.
Yeah.
Was there like any musical stuff that like maybe you can remember, like, or maybe you could look back and be like, oh, that's like what I heard to like inspire wanting to maybe play drums, or
No, because like growing up, everything was pretty much pop in my house. Like my mom was very much into, just that 80s and 90s, like the pop music. Like
Yeah.
rock music really wasn't a thing. I know my dad listened to it,
yeah.
but it really wasn't something that was very prominent
Okay.
in the household. But I mean, it's not like, I used to play with my mom's records all the time,
Yeah.
and it was like Madonna, Prince, So I mean, there was things that I would hear, but it was never anything like.
Not necessarily inspiring to play an instrument or anything. You just liked it.
But I
you
liked
music.
it. I liked
Yeah.
music, like the rhythm, like the beats of things like that. I was like, okay, I can do that. And then just kind of growing up through school, it's like I grew up in the city of Milwaukee. I went to MPS, so I'm highly educated. No, it wasn't that bad for me. But being around other people of different ethnicities, it was, you're making beats, you're beatboxing, you're doing all this stuff, you're pounding on desks,
Yeah.
Making beats. So but it was natural for me. I naturally could do it.
Yeah.
But then even as a kid, I would always tell my parents, I'm gonna get a drum set when I get older.
All right. So there was something with rhythm.
Yeah.
Regardless,
yeah.
it was just in there.
Oh yeah.
Well, I suppose probably listening to that era of pop music was perfect
Mm-hmm.
for that, especially if that's in your, it's in your soul,
Right.
really, because you're hearing Prince, and what are all those? That's all rhythmic,
Right.
Stuff, and then whatever else ended up being in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's perfect. So like,
Yeah.
when did you end up actually getting that kit?
I got that. So my family moved from Milwaukee up to Fredonia, and we finally had our own house. And that was kind of the thing. They always said, yeah, when we get our own house, we'll get you a drum set. It almost like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, we won't ever get our own house, so he ain't getting a fucking drum set.
We weren't even there a year.
Yeah.
It was our own house. I had, was I 17, 18? I think I was 18. Had a job, living at home. I didn't pay bills, so I had money.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm going to buy me a drum set. I went down to, I think it was in Brown Deer. What was that place? Was it Mars?
Yeah.
Mars?
Yeah, that was it. Shout out to Mars, which
Mars?
isn't there anymore.
Which is, yeah. I went in there and like, how can I help you? I'm like, I want a drum set.
You bought brand new?
Oh yeah.
Brand new? Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even know. Like, I'm like, I know Pearl. They're like, oh, we got Pearl sets. I'm like, all right.
Groovy.
What color? Black.
Yeah.
I wasn't really picky. I was like, I just want a drum set.
Yeah.
Bought the drum set, took it home, walk in the house and pulling all this stuff in there, and they're like, what you got?
shit.
I'm like, got a drum set. I'm like, oh,
Oh boy.
they really did it, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Set that thing up that night, was pounding on it that night.
Sure.
Nice.
I think they were happy for me in the moment,
Yeah.
not realizing.
Oh, I can't turn this fucking thing off. Why can't he play acoustic guitar? Fuck!
Right. It's something quieter. So yeah, I bought my drum set. I think I was 17 or 18, probably 18.
Okay.
That's
So-
when I first got it.
What were you listening to then? What kind of music were you listening to then?
So at that
So
point,
this would have been late 90s. At that, when you got a drum kit, this would have been late 90s.
2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was 2000.
Just trying to frame the time.
Yeah. So, growing up, me and Josh were really close.
Yeah.
So he was into, he's into all sorts of music, but even in our teenage years, like alternative music. So the grunge era was huge.
Yep.
So even while I was still listening to like the pop stuff, he was influencing me with all of this
Sure.
grungy alternative music.
Yeah.
So I really started to start gravitating towards that. So I mean, you had your Nirvanas and you know, Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and Faith No More, and then it kept on going. And then he's, you know, throwing other stuff in there, and then he was giving me Marilyn Manson and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
So those things started to influence me even more.
Okay. Let's put a little context real quick. Josh is like 4 years older than us, but y'all were like y'all were cousins, but you were brothers.
Yeah. You
So, you guys are closer than cousins. Were.
Yeah. No, we really grew up together.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think when I was even like a toddler, at some point, him and his family, we lived together, like literally multiple times throughout our life. So, yeah, we were around each other all the time.
Yeah.
And then even when we were living in different places as kids, I was spending the night at his house.
Sure. Yep.
You know, so we were always together. So yeah, we were definitely more than just cousins.
Yeah.
He was like my older brother.
I just wanted to put a little context.
Yeah.
in there.
So yeah, he was that older brother I never had because I'm the oldest
Yep.
in my family. So he had that influence on me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of gave me my first like little dose of, I guess, rock music.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
growing up, I did hear little things here and there like AC/DC and you know things like
classic rock,
classic rock, Guns
yeah.
N' Roses. You know, I had other family members
Yep.
that were into that, but I never was like, oh wow. It just never pulled me in like that.
Okay. So
It was almost like it was too loud. It's like I just wanted more poppy stuff, I guess, at that time.
So when you started playing drums, did you try to mimic the stuff that was on like those Prince albums, or were you just beating the fuck out of it?
I
or-
was just hitting stuff.
okay.
I never said, "Oh, I'm gonna do this song."
Right.
You know, like some people will try to cover some
Yeah,
things.
yep.
I never really did that.
Yeah,
I
okay.
just I played what I felt,
Yeah.
however
yeah.
it came out.
So yeah, the rhythm section part was in there more than a musical style part, I guess. Right.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. Yeah, it wasn't like I was trying to mimic something.
Yeah.
It was just like, oh, this feels good. This feels right, you know. And I played.
Yeah.
And whatever came out, came out.
Well, and then you're listening to, you know, the stuff you're talking about that makes you probably develop, because that all that kind of music is like pocket
Yep.
driven, groove driven
Yep.
music. So yeah, and that definitely, in your playing through, you're definitely a pocket groove kind of drummer.
I'm not looking to go solo
No,
and like do
no.
all sorts of craziness. Like I'm here. I'm doing my part.
Yeah,
And
which works perfect for
Right,
when I came
right,
along.
right.
That's exactly what I wanted, you know. So
Yeah.
it's like, yeah, that worked perfect.
Well, and then, you know, like through the 215 years, it was like, well, I'm also doing the vocal thing.
Yep.
So now I'm trying to do both. You know, try doing both and like doing a solo at the same time and like and like doing all
That's
sorts of
difficult.
craziness. Like
That's difficult.
that's the
I would
one
assume,
thing
yeah.
that I guess I put in quotations held me back as far as like technically, you know, being better at drums is because I had to sing.
yeah,
You're trying to do this without thinking. You know, the easiest way is
Yeah.
to, you know, just try to do your pocket drumming. That way you can sing. Because
Yeah.
to a lot of people, it's like, how do you do that?
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
To me, I'm like, I don't know. I just
do it.
I just do it.
Well, it's the same thing playing guitar and singing.
Right.
Like doing straight 4/4 stuff, that's relatively easy.
Right.
But if there was any kind of weird shit, it was like, fuck, I don't know if I could do this. And like,
that's
you know,
tough
like
to do.
Jordan, my buddy Jordan from Child on Fire.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jordan, the sold out media podcast. He can play all that crazy ass shit. He's not a shredder, for instance, but he's really, his dexterity is fucking redonkulous.
Yeah.
And he can play all that stuff while singing.
Wow.
And it's just like, because what they do now is, you know, they record, him and Ian record,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sing it, and they're not playing live. But he's done that, and he can play all that shit live.
Wow, that's impressive.
So it's just like, you see that kind of stuff, and you see plenty of people like, how the fuck does he play and sing at the
most
same
of what
time?
you're doing, like if you're singing and playing guitar, you're playing mostly all like power chords and stuff that you can like
then you see other people doing all this weird shit.
It's
and you're
like the James Hetfield kind of inside out picking all the different techniques you're doing, and it's like, damn, dude, you're still singing and doing
fuck
this.
is
It's
it?
like, wow.
So it's
if
the
he's
same-
one of those, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Good
it's the
for him.
same idea.
That's not
You know,
easy.
You've seen me
yeah.
have to do that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I can't sing this part.
Right, you're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Oh, all right.
I think I got better at it, but it takes a lot of practice.
Oh yeah, it
It
definitely
does.
takes practice.
So, but yeah, some
But
of
for
that
a
stuff.
for a drum set, that's a little different, I think. Am I right or am I wrong?
Well, I mean, it's the same concept, like Johnny's saying, like when you're doing all the intricate stuff. I mean, granted, drums, I'm moving both legs, both arms, and I'm trying to.
And then you're moving your mouth too.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'm trying to keep tempo
Right.
And key.
and key.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a lot of
There's a lot.
half brain shit going on there, and then
Right.
all your limbs do different shit.
Right.
On a
Yeah.
drum kit.
It's like you're like one of those what are those things that the car
marionette.
dealerships have?
Oh yeah. Wacky inflatable.
yeah,
tube
just
man.
yeah. That's
Yeah, and it's true.
That's what
it
made us
definitely
cool
is.
and unique, though. So
well, I mean,
which is,
again,
which
like
is,
and,
which
and
is awesome with
Yeah.
215. It's like, oh yeah, our drummer is also singing most of the chorus parts and verses too. It's like,
Yeah.
wow, very cool.
well, and like Johnny would say, like sometimes you give a song what it needs. You don't need to go overboard on anything, and that's just how I kind of approach the drumming thing.
Yeah, because that's how, in a way, that's how I approach drumming too. That's why it worked well when we started playing together. Because I guess I kind of like hip hop influenced drumming, where it's like but then like syncopation, like Abe Cunningham from Deftones. They just put out a new album yesterday. I have to go get it.
Oh, it did come. It came out yesterday. I knew it was coming out.
Fucking
Okay.
excited.
I gotta listen to that too.
A couple of songs are sick as fuck. Shout out to Deftones. But no, like Abe Cunningham, for instance, he's probably my favorite drummer. But it's just like a lot of syncopated bass drums and stuff like that. But that's hip hop influenced. So I'm not necessarily like a quote unquote hip hop head or whatever the fuck you want to call him. But I like a certain era of hip hop, and I think I like the drums that are influenced by that. And you can take the pop influences that you had from the 80s, and that is like, oh, well, if you put that with big cymbals, that makes perfect fucking sense.
Right.
So yeah, that's like a perfect
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
of what you-
just again, it was natural. Just kind of
Yeah.
that's just, I guess, my
that's
style
cool.
of playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where it came from. I mean, I'm sure
That's
if I
very
would have listened to anything heavier, I would have just gone that route. You
Yeah.
know, just
Yeah.
Well,
that is interesting that you say that, because like, I mean, we'll get to it. We'll just get there now. Like, Seven Dust's your favorite band,
Seven Dust is my favorite
but
band.
you don't play like Morgan Rose at all, and you doesn't.
No.
You do certain mannerisms, like everybody kind of
Sure,
did.
yeah.
Like everybody started doing like the left-handed stick thing and stuff like that, and that came a lot from him. I'm not saying you ripped it off.
I thought no.
Nice.
No.
But I always thought that was interesting because you didn't try to play like that.
No.
You never tried to play like that.
No.
I'm sure there was feels that it kind of maybe subconscious, but yeah, you never tried to play like that, which is interesting because like guitar players, we see something like, oh, I'm gonna rip that off, and you put your own
All the
little
time,
shit,
yeah.
but you put your own little shit on it,
Right.
but it's like, oh, this was the genesis of this little lick or whatever the fuck.
Right.
Like I always said, again, shout out to Deftones, that's what I would always rip off Deftones.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would put my own little shit on it, but like, what would Deftones do here?
Right.
And then I would always say it. I was not shy about ripping off Deftones, but like,
Yeah,
it's interesting to me that never
I think
crept in.
I think it goes back to when you asked me how I developed that sound.
Yeah.
That, it's like I said, I never covered anything. It's always been feel.
Yeah.
It's always been feel for me.
Yeah.
I always told guys in the band, you need to feel what you're playing,
Yep.
not so much worry about all the technical stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, maybe that's why it never sounded like I completely copied something.
Yeah. No,
They
and
both
it,
go
and
hand
it
in
worked.
hand.
It worked. So
I mean, but yeah, they definitely musically they're probably the biggest influence on me.
yeah.
I mean, once Josh introduced me to them, when they had the song "My Ruin," which was on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack,
Yeah.
and I heard that, and I'm like, okay, this is really good. And then they came out with was either Bitch or Black was the first one that they came out with.
Yeah.
that was on
the
the
first
radio.
album, yeah.
That thing obviously
Yeah.
took off.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm in. And I've been
that was
riding.
giant.
I've been riding with them ever since.
Yeah.
I got everything, all their albums. So, but yeah, they're a big influence. Yeah, Morgan
They
Rose
kick
is
ass.
definitely my favorite
I can
drummer.
not necessarily in the drumming, but the vocals.
And I
definitely-
I heard it recently,
Yeah.
or like I think it was like our last show. I think it was our last show. Did we play with? Or no, I think it was our last show. But Dan from Revolution X
That would have been
was there.
That was our
was at the
first
back
show
bar.
back.
Or
We played
Oh.
with Revex at
hijinks.
It was our
Hijinks.
second show.
Okay, so that one was at Back Bar the next night.
Yes,
so,
it was at the Back
Oh yeah,
Bar.
he did
Yeah,
show
he
up.
was there,
Yeah, he
yes.
was.
Yeah. And he came up to me, and I think he said something about my vocals.
Yeah.
And I think he said it reminded him of Morgan Rose.
Yeah.
And I was just
Yeah.
like, okay.
There's stuff that we've done that it's like, okay, yeah, there's
That's always a
Lejeune
cool
there.
feeling
And-
to know that your influences that other people spotted out too.
Yeah,
You
and
know,
it is, but then you're
You
like,
know, yeah.
then you're like, well, shit, am I like ripping them off? You don't want to like rip them off.
It's only certain
But if-
parts,
but if it's
your
your-
same thing with my guitar.
But if
playing.
it's your
That's okay.
in-
you
if
know,
it's-
it's like, oh boy,
if it's what
better stop
influenced
listening
you,
to Parkway Drive or something.
right? You're like, yeah, okay, this is
And like, oh,
this
boy,
is
I'm
bleeding.
starting- I'm
This is
starting to
bleeding
sound
into
like
stuff.
I'm starting to sound like Jeff Ling here. Oh boy, I gotta sound like Pants.
pants.
Yeah.
But I mean, those influences, they'll creep in eventually.
Yeah.
Things are gonna, yeah. So
Yeah, and
I get it.
And it's just an ode. We're into rock and roll. We're 70 fucking years in. So
There's
it's
good-
like
yeah.
there's shit all over the place.
Something's
We're-
gonna sound like
we're-
something.
We're ripping off the Beatles somewhere in here.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely. We're ripping off the Beach Boys somewhere.
Well, it's gotten
in here.
it's gotten to the point where anybody can say anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sound like this. Okay. Sure.
Yeah, and all you can do is go thank you, and hopefully, I can pick that influence up, but it's also you.
Right.
So it's not like you're trying to be a Morgan Rose cover singer.
Right.
that's what it's all about, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why we do what we do. So
Yeah, it's
No.
there. You have your influences, but then it's also it gets filtered through you.
yeah,
So you pick and choose.
absolutely.
All the shit, and you put it into. You get your as a guitar player, you get your bending technique. Oh, I might. I like how he bends something, but then you take that, and then you're like, oh well, I like how BB King does the vibrato thing. So then you mix them,
Right.
and then you get the Clapton vibrato, which is completely different.
Yes.
So it's all the same. It comes from the
It's like
same
writing
stew,
solos
and then it
too.
goes all
Whatever,
together.
everything will intertwine from your guitar players that you were influenced by.
Yeah.
Too. So that's
Yeah.
kind of how I like to approach like solos and everything like that. It's from who my favorite guitar players were.
Yeah.
I'll play their licks and everything, but then it's like, oh well, that phrase works good with this section here. It's
Yeah,
the same thing with drumming and vocals and anything else.
yeah, and
You know?
you
and
take,
it's really cool.
Yeah, and
you
you-
know how it blends together to your style, and then
Yeah, and you change it.
then it branches off.
you change the
so it's
interval,
cool.
or you
Yeah.
change the rhythmic timing of a note and shit like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it just all of a sudden it's you.
Yeah,
You took this idea, and then it's you.
and it's
You know.
beautiful.
So like,
Yeah.
okay, Corey, you're like, how old are you now?
30.
Okay,
Just
so
turned
you're
6.
well, we're damn near 40. So it's like there
That's
is
all
a generational difference, only as far
Yeah.
as
I was just thinking about that
Yeah.
when he was talking.
it was
you know,
like
so it's,
I've covered on the podcast. Like my main influence to start playing guitar, everything was Nirvana.
Right.
Okay, different era, completely. Obviously, you know about it.
Yeah.
That's goes without saying. But you came up in a different time. So it's like when
A little. Yeah.
well,
but
when
yeah.
when like I started getting into music, like people always want to
Yeah,
pretend
okay, I
that
see what you're saying now.
there
Yeah.
wasn't guitar solos, and that's not and I've kind of done that too. But the difference is in the previous generation, like in the '80s, a lot of it was like "Look at Me," blanking off kind of fucking guitar solos.
Right.
Like I'm just gonna play the most ridiculous fucking shit and look at me, motherfucker. But they all did that.
Which is- right.
Whereas then when grunge came in, obviously there was a ton of solos because all those guys were influenced by Led Zeppelin, Jimi Hendrix, same kind of thing.
Right.
But it was all it seemed to
Right.
be more about the song. So you didn't see the guitar player on the cover of Spin magazine. The whole band was there. And it wasn't the lead singer standing in front with all of them behind him. They were all, in their fucking flannels and shit, all kind of,
Light shining
looking.
on them at the moment. They're
Yes.
they're ripping
So
the
it was
guitar
all kind
solo,
of,
where
it
he's
seemed-
tapping and
it
all that
seemed
crazy
to be all
happy
together.
stuff. Yeah.
So when I was in the formative whatever, when I like found music that was mine, that was like, oh shit, like I understand this. It was that era.
Right.
So that influenced how I played guitar. I wanted to play guitar because I wanted to play Nirvana songs. And I had the books, I had the Nirvana books. I was fucking obsessed with Nirvana. And this was pre-internet, so it's like I couldn't just look it up. I had to find this magazine. Oh, hey, I heard, your friend was, I heard that this. Oh, well, I heard that. So you're like, who knows what the fuck is actually real, but you heard all this
It
shit.
was all like tape recorder stuff though, back then.
Oh, yeah,
Mostly
yeah,
too,
yeah.
trying to learn everything,
Yeah, and there,
lessons from
yeah,
music stores and stuff like that. So
yeah, and you had like the Hal Leonard books and all that kind of stuff. But my point being is that when you started playing guitar, when did you start playing guitar? Like about a year, just curious. How old were you?
I was at like 16 or 17, actually.
Okay.
So
So
it's
so you think about 2005.
All my friends in high school were playing guitar, and
Yeah.
it was, I grew up playing basketball and baseball.
Yeah.
I was real sports, and
Yeah.
then I was seeing my friends play guitar. It's like, well, I want to do that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, same.
But they were all
Let's
playing
say.
like, acoustic guitar and stuff like that. But then I like going in the weight room and like lifting weights for sports and basketball and everything like that. I was always hearing, Pantera, Metallica, Guns N' Roses.
Is that the
that
stuff
kind
that
of
you were
stuff.
into?
And then at that time, I was like, damn, this sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And it was mostly the Black Album for Metallica. And at
Okay.
that time, like, I thought that was the only Metallica that was there. And then
Yeah.
I was like, oh wait, they have stuff that
There's
was before.
more?
There's more, even before this.
Well,
and then it
that
was even more.
happens.
So I was always big on like Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield, and then Eddie Van Halen / that kind of.
Okay.
Yes, I was obsessed with how the sound of guitar solo sound.
Yep.
So then it was like, I took lessons then. And wanted to learn. Bought my first guitar. It was
Just
a
teach me solos.
Yes,
Yeah.
just teach me solos. Yes,
Let me
yes.
rip.
So yeah, and my teacher's like,
I don't care about anything else.
okay, all right, but you got to learn the basics, chords, and this. And I was like, no,
I don't wanna do
just,
that.
Just run right into the
Yep.
scales. Let's go here. And it was like, I want to learn Cemetery Gates. I want to learn Eruption. That shit first. So
Fuck all that.
yeah, I don't want to play
this.
Mary Had a Little Lamb and all that. It's but
So where did liking that stuff come from? Was that from your parents, for instance, or was that from buddies, or how did
lots
that
of
happen?
friends more.
Yeah?
My parents, my mom was real big. She was in like church choirs and stuff like that growing up. My dad, he kind of never really. He appreciated it, but never really got into the
wasn't really
depth
into it.
of like learning an instrument,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But my mom was, she knew piano a little bit. She was singing in
Okay.
choirs and church choirs and stuff like that. She was always real big into like, Johnny Cash and like the Eagles and Carlos Santana, and then a lot of pop stuff too. That
Yeah.
was like old, like during like the 70s, 80s, that kind of era. So, but as far as learning guitar, was mostly buddies, you know,
Yeah, okay.
and then just in the weight room, just hearing or playing sports, just Metallica, Slayer, Pantera, all that stuff that just gets you jacked. I was
So
like,
it's
you know, I
probably
want to play this. And then all my
maybe
friends
Metallica.
were listening to that too. And then
Yeah.
they were guitar players. So I was, you know, I was like, well, that's what I want to play.
Okay. Okay, so you,
know.
okay, so you, well, you know, like Metallica
And then-
at that point was on the radio.
Yes. And they
And
were
then-
giant, you know,
yes,
still
you know.
even at that time. And that was around like 2007 or so. So it was like, I mean, they've always been giant after the Black
Yeah.
album too,
Yeah.
you know, and everything, you know, everything that they've done before. But, you know, just hearing that, it was just like, man,
Sure.
I gotta play like these guys.
So you, okay, so you caught, so it was kind of Metallica was the,
Yes,
the
root,
the genesis, the
yeah,
root.
Kirk Hammett and James
Yep.
Hetfield,
And
Eddie
then-
Van Halen, Dimebag. That was
Sure, so you went from Metallica and then got to,
then branched.
that's kind
out,
of the thing where
branched out,
you go
yes.
Metallica and then you find Pantera and then that's kind of the,
It's
you
like
know.
Eric's favorite band is Seven Dust, mine is Metallica.
Sure.
It started out. That's where it all started.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
so-
absolutely. No, and it's not a bad spot to start.
But then, you know, it was at that time too when I was in high school, like all of you know, I was stuck on the Slayer, Exodus, Testament, you know, all the old school stuff, and I just and you know, all my friends were like, dude, check out the metal that's now
Yeah.
the new age, and I was just like, I don't want to.
That sounds
no, but then
vaguely familiar. I'm
yeah,
not sure why.
Yeah.
about my amp and getting
Yeah.
my tone. It's
Oh,
like,
wow.
yeah, no, I don't want to listen to you.
No.
Okay. But then I did, and then it was like, well, Kill Switch Engage, All That Remains, Bullet for My Valentine, As I Lay Dying, all those bands. It's like, whoa,
Sure.
where the hell did this come from?
Yeah.
And then in Parkway Drive too at the time, and then from then on, I was just like, okay, I'm changing up everything. You know,
So this
drop
okay,
B,
so
drop
you-
C, let's
yeah,
go.
Right there. So you started playing about 14, 15 years old. Ish.
Say, yeah, 15, 16.
Okay,
I'd
so
say maybe
2005,
later, yeah.
2006. Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, I
around
mean
there.
that's definitely a different time,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for my old ass, you know. But it makes sense, but there's still crossover there.
Mm-hmm.
But like there was see Metallica didn't influence me all that much. I liked it. But like that was the first like when I started getting into, you know, that came out in 91, the Black Album. So
Mm-hmm.
that was a little bit before Nirvana came out. Cuz
Sure.
Nevermind
yeah.
came out
Was that
actually just the other day, like
94, I think?
29.
Or
No,
was
91.
was that
or
oh,
91.
Oh wow,
It was like
I'm way off.
September
Okay.
September 24th. So it just came out
Okay.
like 29 years ago, just the other day.
Oh, that's the other album I'm thinking.
But
about.
but the Black Album came out earlier.
right. It was like
Earlier
91
that year.
91, I think.
Yeah, it was earlier that year. And that was huge. I remember, I don't know, it must have been like 5th grade or something like that. And 4th grade, something like that. And we did a test. We're going to listen to music while trying to do some things. She was trying to like, can you, some sort of learning thing, if you can take
Yeah.
this test and how the scores stack up without listening to music. And someone brought in the Black Album. And we listened
cool.
to Metallica
Very
trying
cool.
to do this thing. So that was like the first thing that's like where I go back. But yeah, Metallica the Black Album was
Yeah.
giant. And yeah, I think at that point, because that just came out, but I lived in southeastern Wisconsin and we did that. I mean, Metallica didn't get a lot of play on the radio before that, but especially here.
Wow,
You didn't hear
okay.
any of that shit until the Black Album came out. You know, you know, we had lots of top 40 stations, like they all do. A couple of rock stations, but nobody played Metallica
Right.
until the Black Album came. You know, so yeah, same thing as there's more stuff here.
Yes.
But you probably got Metallica caught you at a different way, whereas I
Yes.
appreciated that stuff. But I'm probably going to get fucking skewered for this. I like the Black Album more than any of the stuff before.
Oh boy.
See?
You might be. You might be.
and it's
You
fucking
might
true.
be.
And I don't. It's my fucking show. I can say what I
Right.
want.
And in the
But
red corner, we have.
yeah, right.
There it is.
He's gonna get his ass fucking beat. I'm sure if there's like 3 people listening, they're like,
Round one.
motherfucking cocksucker.
Round one.
Yeah, right. But no, I'm serious. In my
Oh, you gotta really.
In my no. It's the production value. It's
Yeah,
the songs.
right.
I think the songs are way fucking better.
Sure.
They're sold out, quote unquote, whatever. Yeah, well, you know what? It was one of the
Yeah.
biggest metal albums ever, and it sounds fucking awesome.
Still today.
It sounds
amazing.
great.
Yes.
Like it was
Right.
just
Yeah.
recorded,
Right.
and the songs are fucking great. So I can appreciate Master of Puppets. I like I like Injustice
Riffs, man.
for All.
Riffs.
Oh, Injustice for All, dude! Holy shit!
Yeah.
Blackened.
Oh, yeah.
Holy fuck! I
Oh, yeah.
remember being a kid,
That-
and when I first heard that song, I was scared.
Yeah. That was.
It scared me. I was like, "Oh my god, these people are angry. Why?" And I was a kid, so it scared me. I remember not listening to it while it was dark out. It scared me. But Blackened is fucking sick.
Yes,
but
it is.
I like the Black Album more than any of the other ones.
I'd have to disagree with. Agree
And
to
that's
disagree.
fine. That's fine.
But yeah.
No.
Before
But
I
we
whip
also-
your ass.
But we also look at it. in
Making my
different-
head hurt here. No.
We also look at
No,
it in
right.
different ways.
Yes.
From different angles. I look at it more as a song standpoint,
Right.
and the songs, in my opinion, are much better. He just nice. It's
I literally
classy.
watched
the
this
whole
thing
thing went
just
limp.
Watched it.
We had a problem earlier with this guy. It's done. It's over.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Is this a joke?
Yeah, well,
You're gonna have to hold it.
yeah, right. Nice. But just as far as like a songwriting standpoint, I think the songs are way better than anything that
Absolutely.
happened prior to that.
Yes, and that's
And I'm
true.
not downplaying the
Yeah,
other
right.
all the stuff prior
But,
to that.
You know, with riffs are important in that song
Yes.
thing too. So like, yeah, like
a
oh
bo-
Jesus,
Like at this point,
that's probably the only way you have to. Yeah, your arms are gonna get tired at the
Yeah,
end of this.
you're not a
Yeah,
fucking
it's just
professional.
you know.
Put that on the table first.
Yeah.
That thing.
Put it on the table.
Other way.
And there is a song, but it's also being more creative to capture that song too.
Well,
you know, as
yeah,
another
and
thing,
they're-
you know.
they-
so that's
you know-
that's what I like to do is, you know, if we're playing, you know, if it's just a straight power chord progression, you can do you can break up notes in between it to make it sound cool too.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
that's
No, and
solos and leads and things using the wah. You know, now I just got a what is it, a chorus pedal.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, oh boy, you know, the things I can do now. Like,
And you
it's
can get
pretty
real
good.
fucking 80s on it at the same point.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not
But
shitting.
you know, you are right. But it's trying to dial in that subtle tone. I don't want to start sounding like Police in 3 Left.
Nice.
You know, yeah, no.
You know,
I don't think that would work.
Eric
but
is representing the fact that this is a professional, award-winning podcast that ain't win no awards.
I think I think he's got it though. You just
He does.
jam
so
it in
now
there.
he's- This is audio fucking gold.
Now I
right
know
now.
why he wanted me to sit here. This, oh, shit.
No, you just wanted that more comfortable seat than what I got.
This is great.
I offered it.
I am not editing any of
And
this
You
shit.
sat there by the time
He's
I
like-
got
No,
there.
listen. I
told
when
him.
I got here.
I would have loved to.
And then
When
he
I got
gave
here,
me
I sat
fucking
right there,
attitude.
and he's like, "No, I want you to sit here,"
I wanted to be lazy.
because he already had everything set
I
up.
had
for
this
himself.
set up
right,
already.
right.
Yeah, see,
And I was like, "Well, I'm trying to be nice. Maybe Corey wants to sit in this nice
well, that.
chair."
Yeah, I got.
I
stuff on
saved you. Look at
Would've
this thing;
loved
it's
to,
falling
yeah.
apart.
But yeah, I wouldn't know where to begin after all that, you know. So I mean, I think you got it under control.
This thing's
there.
gone limp again.
Yeah, dude, it's just
Semi.
it lost all excitement.
We were having all the all the stuff. I think we lost Corey's thing. That's fine.
Uh oh, can you hear me?
We'll go.
Yeah, we're good. I think.
Oh, I can hear you.
Check, check.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
But I think we lost your thing. But
yeah, no, it's fine.
lost his who?
he just has a
Let the
smile on his
yeah.
face the whole time.
Oh, lost your
That's
video
fine.
Yeah,
feed.
we lost our video feed. That's
Oh
right.
yeah, that's. I was looking at that. and
You can
kinda
sit here if you
could
want
hear-
your video back.
What?
Keep talking.
Oh. Oh, okay.
He's the camera guy.
Hi.
No, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
He lost his train of thought.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, it's such a fucking professional podcast. It's all right.
But
It's okay.
my smile looks nice.
Smile looks fantastic.
Make him edit. It's fine.
No,
Like here's the thing. I'm sitting here, right?
I mean, I was focusing on your limp mic.
I'm sitting here, and then I said something, and I realized this mic was like right here. I'm like, what? How did it get here? So then that's when I was like, okay, let me see, and it just. I'm like, oh, it's gonna fall over.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have long things in your face.
I told you.
All right, we're back. Are we?
There we go. There's a video of me right there.
This is great.
Oh, yes, it is.
This is great. This is, like I said, this is a professional podcast. We're going to win a bunch of awards, and we ain't going to win a fucking
Damn
award.
right. Joe
Did we just
Rogan.
come back from commercial? Is that what that was?
It was a live
Yes.
commercial where
Is
I
it
did
a
no fucking
sponsor?
reads. No one wants to do shit on here. No, that's
15-minute ad from YouTube or something.
Yeah. If you haven't, what happens after Johnny buries everything before the Black Album?
See, now you
I come
should
back-
have. Now you should be listening to
come
all
in-
their Metallica songs.
I come in, I got a black fucking eye. The internet has beat me to a pulp.
Seems like Corey Pants Schmidt just won that round.
He doesn't look like much, but he took that fat fuck down.
Just put like a uncensored graphic on the screen.
You got cut by Ibeck.
Yeah, I get beat down for that one, but it's what I feel. It's what I feel. No,
What you feel?
it's what I feel.
What you feel, yes.
Yes, I said it. The Black Album, I believe, is better. So haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
No one listens to this shit anyway. No one's gonna listen. I'm gonna have like 3 people listen. They're gonna be like, "Yeah,
You'll
I
get
was
one.
okay."
You'll get one like on Facebook, and that's about it. And then it's
Yeah, and then a bunch of burials. Just find the YouTube comments if anybody gets it.
I told the boys from 3 Left to give this a listen, so hopefully they do. And then
well,
about
gonna
like,
get a bunch of
about like
down.
5 minutes in, they'll just be like, "All right, well,
Oh, I know that fucking guy. And,
Yeah, it's
another
like-
guy in there. There's a
No.
drummer in there. Oh, fuck
I don't know that
too.
guy.
Do you want to?
Who's the scenery?
What do you? Am I out of line for saying that Black Album's better than Master
I'm
Puppets?
not getting in this fight. Oh, no.
Come in here.
Pick a corner.
I don't
Nope.
give a shit. I don't give a shit. I like it. I like the Black Album. In my
it is
opinion, is
good.
better.
Wow. Jeez.
It's better than Master Puppets. It's better than Ride the Lightning.
oh, it just hurts."
But for
Yeah,
whom
no,
the
yeah.
I like a lot of the not burying it. I think
Yeah,
it's
I know.
better. I think
I'm
it's
good-
better
I'm
as
just
far
giving
as
you
a
shit, yeah.
songwrite
It's-
standpoint.
yeah.
It is far superior.
Different genres, actually, kind of. You know, like thrash metal, thrash speed metal, and then
Well,
it kind of
yeah.
got groovy then.
Yeah.
And then you got Lars. It's
He
just
learned how
simple.
to. He learned how to. Well, he learned how to sing.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you that it was on mute before at the shows. So, no.
Oh no, I'm not saying you learned.
Oh.
To sing. I said James Hetfield learned how to
Oh
sing,
yes,
and not sing
Yeah.
about witches.
right. 'Cause originally he was. Because actually he was a drummer.
Was he?
Yes, he was. And then
Oh, okay. Well, rhythmic.
he was a
Rayanne.
drummer, and then he picked up guitar, and then was like, okay, well, somebody's got to sing this shit. You know,
Sure.
like so.
All right, so Eric isn't going to join in on the.
Nah.
You can stand up for the other ones and tell me I'm full of shit. No. All right. Well, we'll just move on then.
Yeah.
I'll just leave that
I am
hanging
not-
there.
I'm not getting dragged
and
into
people
that.
will. Somebody at this point, 55
I got you the
minutes
black
in,
guy for saying
Are
the Black Album's better.
are going to be throwing
I
things.
like Saint Anger best.
Hey, that
Whoa.
snare sound.
Just kidding.
That snare sound.
Or Lars's
That
drum
steel
album.
drum. Yeah. That's real good.
The trash can.
Yes. Right. With Bob Rock playing bass. Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of bass players on Metallica, man, they did fucking Jason Newsted dirty on the fucking Justice.
I heard. Yeah.
Oh, they did him fucking dirty. Did you hear that story? Okay. Well, first of all, this drum sound is fucking terrible. Lars had these printouts of the drum EQ curve. So he comes in and says, I want my drums to sound like this. And the guy who was mixing the albums laughed at him. Oh, you're serious?
So this is like rock and roll analytics.
So him
he
and
was doing-
James mix the record.
Okay.
And they mix it how they would want it. Lars comes in the next day and goes, what the fuck is up with my drum sound? I wanted it to sound like this. Oh, you're serious? So they spend all day undoing what was probably an awesome sounding fucking album and putting
And made it better.
Making it better. The drummer speaks and made how it sounds. But what they did with Jason is this is
Went
a
to
large
Napster.
This is another thing.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah.
go down the rabbit hole with Metallica.
Oh, boy.
They mix they go to mix the bass, and he goes, okay, take the bass so you can just barely hear it. He lowers it down. He's like, now take it down 5 more dB. Oh. So when you listen, there's no bass on Justice for All.
It's on there. You can't hear it.
It's in James's guitar. That's they had to make it up somewhere. So that's how that happened. And then I guess there was I don't remember. It was some.
Yeah, that's rough.
They ran in. The guy who mixed the album tells this story. So it's from the horse's mouth. He met up with Lars at some function. I don't know if it was the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame thing, whatever. Some function like 20 years or something, 25 years after the fact. And Lars goes, hey, what's up with the bass on Justice? And he's like, are you fucking kidding? he either completely forgot or just in his head was like, I'm passing the buck on this motherfucker.
Right.
And he's going to have to answer to me.
Yeah.
So he can. It is certifiable, man. It's fucking certifiable. Oh, shout out to Lars Ulrich. I'd still like to meet him. He'd still be funny as shit, but oh yeah, fucking funny as shit. So back to brass tacks, since we've had this, it's gone somewhere I didn't think it was going to be. I'm assuming that Josh made you play drums for a band. Did you want to play drums for a band, or did you just want to beat the shit out of drums? Did you have any aspirations to join a band?
No.
Not really? No.
I don't. Well, okay, so no, I think I wanted to do more recording. I wanted to do more engineering stuff.
Okay.
So I went to school for it. And that was that's the idea I had.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna go like do the recording, be behind the scenes. Well, it was different when I became a drummer, right?
Okay, yes. You went to Madison.
Yeah, I went out to Madison.
How long was 215 a thing before? Because you recorded the first.
It depends on what version of 215 you're talking about.
I
mean, there was literally when I went out to school, there was no band. There was no like how we would look at a band.
Yeah.
It was more Josh had a bunch of ideas and a keyboard. And he had his guitar, but that was it.
Yeah.
So he just wanted to create and make up stuff. So we had like a 4-track recorder and we were just playing around. And I mean, but he always had this thing of 215. He wanted to have this band and call it 215.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, I'm just helping you out. Like whatever you want me to do, I'll just help you out. But I went to school to be a recording engineer.
Yeah.
Then he's like, "Hey, you have a drum set? You want to like play drums?" Because he was in a band previous to that called Clancy Brown.
Okay.
And that was him. I think it was Nick Gross who was in the original 215.
Yep.
And so it was basically going to be me, him, or Josh, Nick, and myself. And then we just need to find a bass player. The hardest thing in this band.
At least it was consistent from the beginning.
Yes, it was.
Finding a fucking bass player.
Oh, it was just so rough. And we found a guy by the name of Tim who actually lived in Madison. So it was convenient for me to pick him up.
Oh, word.
Because I was living out there.
Yeah.
And we would both drive down to Milwaukee and we would practice.
Yeah.
But that's kind of how it all started. But I never had like the aspiration to like do that. It was just I like music.
Yeah.
I want to be involved with it, but I didn't know if I wanted to be on stage. I'd never been on stage. I didn't know what it was going to be like. Right. But then I was like, I like playing drums, and I mean I like it, so I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
And I told myself, I was like, well, the first show was coming up. I'm like, either I'm going to like it or I'm not.
Right. Yeah.
And either I'm going to do this after this show or I'm going to be done. And we played, I think it was a one of those Battle of the Bands.
Sure.
I think, where was it? Not the Monkey Bar. Miramar Theater.
Yeah.
Very cool.
For the Gorilla.
Oh, the fucking Gorilla Productions.
The Gorilla
baby.
Productions.
Oh, fuckers.
Here, give us a bunch of money and sell your own tickets.
Yeah, sell your own tickets, and then when we get the money from all the tickets, or so, then we'll tell you when you're going to play.
Yeah, right.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. So,
oh yeah.
Now, granted, it helped us because it was our first show.
Yeah.
So Josh was out there. Yeah, come see us. Come see us. Come see us. We've got all our friends, everybody.
Yeah.
Of course, we won it because it's really a popularity contest because you're going to vote, right?
Yep.
So, but I mean, when I got up there,
It's usually how that goes.
it was the first time on stage, and we played.
Yeah.
And we got done, and I'm like, yeah,
Nerves?
no.
Well, okay.
That was the thing. I was like, I was. It was a little weird because I wasn't nervous.
Well, here at this point too,
Oh.
you're not 16 at this point.
right.
You're not 20 at this point. You were, was it mid early?
Early 20s.
Yeah, but see, you weren't. I mean, we all were
I know,
kids,
no, I
but
get
you
it. Like,
weren't-
yeah,
you weren't a teenager.
yeah,
You had already lived some life here.
yeah.
So yeah, I got So no nerves. That's awesome.
No, yeah,
That's crazy.
It was weird.
Well,
I wasn't nervous.
And people who would know you, people who know you, kind of were okay. That makes sense.
Right. I'm not really here or there.
No, you are for people listening, Eric is like the most even keel, let the chips fall where they may kind of person. He very rarely gets too high, too low. It's just there. So yeah, okay, not being nervous actually
So I
makes
guess, yeah,
complete
that makes
fucking
sense, right? and yeah, I got up there, I did it. Show was over, and I'm like, yeah, I actually like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So I stuck with it.
Yeah.
But then that almost put what I was doing in school almost on the side. I still completed it, graduated,
Yeah.
did all that, and I guess it was still always there. Like, I can use now playing in a band to network my way into some things. And I think the problem over the years, though, is like when you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing a whole lot of like recording
Yeah.
on the side, even like for ourselves or for anybody else. And that knowledge kind of slips away.
Yeah.
I still have some of that knowledge, but it's like I can't go in there anymore and just
Yeah.
go.
The shortcuts, the
Yeah,
exact, all that stuff isn't on the top of your head.
So that kind of cut into that. But it was
Yeah.
like, you know what? I'm enjoying this. I'm having fun. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And that was the beginning of 215. It was very garage style. It wasn't. 215 has developed over the years into
garage is it was very garage rock for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
So
really
it
good.
it was very interesting. But Josh was one of those guys. He would experiment with things. He was an interesting dude.
Yeah.
He was into a lot of things, and a lot of that stuff you could tell influenced a lot of things.
Yeah.
And for me, like in the beginning, I liked doing the band thing, but there was a part of me. It's like maybe I wasn't fully invested or something, like mentally.
Yeah.
I was almost like, no, man, I'm doing this because you want to do it, and like I'm here.
I have fun doing it.
I have fun doing it,
but I want to leave it there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Well, you were in school yet,
Yep.
and then you have a new band.
Yeah.
By and large, a new band.
Oh, yeah.
So, anything new, you're like, most of the time, you're like, fuck yeah, we're doing this.
Right.
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
You go balls deep in the fucking thing.
Right.
But then you have this really important thing that you're at school.
Yeah.
And you're living with other family, but you're not living with your parents.
Right.
This was probably one of the first. Was that like the first time you lived not at home?
No. No, I moved out of the house when I was like 19 or
Okay.
20.
But you're still young in that too, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you're trying to make it through school.
Oh yeah.
and
Oh no,
all that shit.
at that time I was. Or no, yeah. So at that time I was living with my aunt and uncle
Yeah.
out in Madison,
Yep.
going through school and did all that. And good thing they were there because,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, I had a, yeah,
Yeah.
they were great. You know, very,
Always.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm very
They're
appreciative of
fucking
that.
awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, I eventually, once I graduated, I moved down to Milwaukee. I lived with Nick
Okay.
at his house. That's
Yeah.
where we practiced.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, that's just that's how that band pretty much started, and it was very interesting.
Yeah, and you recorded the first thing.
Yeah, so we actually recorded at MMI
Yeah.
Madison Media, where I went to school, because I was like, hey, I can get free recording time
Yep.
because we can just go in there and do it.
Yeah. On that hard drive I was telling you about, I found the artwork for that.
Oh, really?
And there's actually some raw stuff on there. I hadn't listened to it,
Okay.
but there's like some waves and stuff. So there's actually some remnants.
And that's great because I had a hard drive
I'd
that
like to listen to it.
I don't know if you want to listen to that.
Yeah,
man.
It's on Bandcamp. Did I take
Well,
it
yeah, that
down?
first album is on Bandcamp.
I might have taken it down, but I made it downloadable, so I don't remember if
Okay.
I have it.
Yeah.
Regardless, I have it.
Yeah, it was called Black Electric.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, and you guys were a young band.
Yeah.
And then you recorded it. Yeah. At the.
That was like the first recording studio. I
Yeah.
mean, really, you know, even though it was a school, it was still, you know,
Yep.
had everything you needed.
Oh yeah. It's a professional recording.
yeah.
studio,
Oh, yeah.
You know,
for sure.
Yeah, and then
that's awesome.
to have it for free, it was like
This
this
it was
is
smart.
this is a
yeah.
no-brainer to go
Yeah.
and do it here.
It was smart, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, but it's just interesting music. But
is.
you know, as time went on, it was like, I'm not. This isn't what I like.
No, and
I mean, really, I mean, like, it was fun to be in a band.
Yeah.
And playing music.
yeah,
Yeah.
But then as time went on, I'm like, man, like, I don't know, like,
it's far different, Corey. It
Yeah.
is
Oh,
far
trust me,
different.
I know. I have some projects like that similar to what he did too. Trust me,
yeah,
I know.
you know, it's just, I don't know.
Well, that's what that obviously.
Like
but
10
when
minutes
I,
of playing the same exact thing over and over again. But at least, at least we're getting together and jamming.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Yeah.
well, that's obviously that's my first
No
impression
structure.
from you guys. Yeah, that's what I heard. So like, it's been, I think 10 years or so. It might have been 2009 when we met. I think it was actually 2009 when we met. I
Okay.
think 2009, 10. I think
When
it's
was
nine.
your last show with Breathe the Silence?
I can't remember if it was 9
Because
or 10.
whatever. Okay, so
But that was the last one.
It, yeah.
I actually I was looking through because I was posting one of the pictures and I was like, what is this from? So I had to go on Reverb Nation, and they have all of them on there.
Okay.
And the first one I came up was on the top of this page. It was an Astropen. I was like, oh, this is when I met the guys for the first time.
Okay.
It might have been 2010.
Okay. I mean, that sounds right.
Actually, I think it was 2010. It was in August of 2010. Okay. Point being on this story is that I don't think I necessarily like the songs.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, because you guys, I think, had just about everything on Reverb Nation or Bandcamp or whatever. I
Yeah.
think it was pretty much all there. So it was like, fucking listen to it.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So I don't know. I didn't necessarily like all the songs, but there was a vibe there.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, and when we met at that show, shout out to the lodge, it's no longer there. Before Breathe the Silence even played, I don't even know if I think you guys played your first set because we split sets that night.
Yeah, we did like a set. You did a set. We did a set. Yeah.
I don't know how well that worked, but whatever. You guys had
I think
played.
didn't it get shut down early?
Yes.
So it didn't work out very well.
We got to play our first set. You guys played. We got to play our first set. You guys played your second set, and then we got to play like 3 more songs. And they were like, "Yeah, get the fuck
that
out
sounds
of here."
right. Yeah.
But I remember talking to Josh after you guys had played. It was before Breathe the Silence played. And he actually offered me the gig
Okay.
before we were just talking, and he's like, "Hey, well, you want to if you ever want to be in, do something." I was like, I got this Breathe the Silence.
Do you remember
thing.
what he said to you? Like, was the other guitar player leaving for our band?
No, but I think I don't remember him saying that, but I think he did say he was interested in going in a different direction.
No, maybe that's what it was then.
So he offered me the gig before he had, I don't know how much he even heard me play. I think he just, we were just talking and we grooved on shit. So he's, well, you know, I was like, oh, I got this Breathe the Silence thing right, and I went and played my guitar and blah 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 blah. Well, turns out that was Breathe the Silence's last show. Didn't know it at the time, but then like we just had like a fill-in bass player, and he was like 17, and like he got in trouble, and we're all like in our late 20s at this point. So he got in trouble, and like his dad wouldn't let him play in the band anymore. And like we were fucking around with these. We had gone through so many changes. Singer would leave. Okay, someone would just step up. Mm-hmm. I just got sick of it. So I am done with this fucking shit. So we're done. I blew it up. I'm done with this. So then I waited a little bit, and I contacted Josh on probably Facebook. Hey, are you still looking? You know, and at that point, you guys had kind of broken up.
Well, I think we were kind of in the same boat as your band, where everything was constantly changing.
Yeah,
and you're just like, I'm tired of doing this.
Yeah,
I'm just tired of like the constant changeover. And then if you weren't happy with like where your sound was going, that's a whole nother reason to just not want to do it. And I think maybe that's where that helped you guys in your relationship when it started, because you guys were in the same boat. Mm-hmm. He wanted to go in a different direction. You're tired of this. We're constantly going through a bass player, or we had another guitar player, you know, and it's just like,
well, he definitely wanted to get heavier.
I wanted to get heavier too. That was.
See, me and you didn't get to talk a lot. We did, you know, like, but it was at that show. But like, I had like a kind of an open dialogue with Josh.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know, more. And yeah, he was like, I want to get heavier. You can play that, you know. So it was like, oh well, that works. But I remember kind of tying this back to what I was saying a few minutes ago, is that there was a vibe there that I really enjoyed that came through the music. I'm not sure what it was. Some of the songs I liked, some of them I didn't. It's fine, you know, everything, you know.
Right.
But there was a vibe there that I liked. So whether it was in the music or just the dudes playing it, I don't know. But there was something there, and I remember actually thinking, I don't want to disturb this vibe. And I don't know if I fucked that up ever, or I probably did at some point. But I didn't
Me
want.
and you were similar.
I didn't want to. You know,
yeah.
I didn't want to hurt the vibe. So that's what drew me in. You know, and then you know, you guys are fucking cool, so it was like easy. You know, but I just said.
We're just easygoing guys.
Well, well, there's a lot of onions to that, Shrek. But yeah, it was strange that was the band that I had was dying more or less, and then I meet you guys at that last show, and then it turns out to be you know, goes into something different.
It's a little weird how that just kind of works out.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to what you were saying about, you know, you called or messaged Josh to see if he was still interested, and you know, having at that time we were done. I was like,
yes, you were.
I'm just done doing this.
Yeah.
And it was two things. It was I didn't like the sound anymore, and the constant rotation.
Yeah.
It gets tiring after a while. You're like, man, really? This is just rotating bass players. And it's like, it's not like these bass players were bad. It's just nothing would stick.
Yeah.
You know, there's always kind of something, you know?
There was something. Yep.
It just, gets
fucking tiring.
It gets tiring.
It
gets tiring. So, yeah, and then that just led you to you and Josh talking.
Yeah. Well, we hadn't started rolling yet. We were talking, and then I remember, because at that point I had worked in Brookfield. So I had still worked in Brookfield at that point. So I remember going over to the house one day. It was after work, like on a Saturday, and I didn't say I wanted to start a band, be in the band, until I said it face to face to him. But I said, I'm going to come over because we just met that one time at the show and then talked. I don't know if we talked on the phone, Facebook, whatever the fuck. So I went over there, and he was standing out in the driveway, smoking a cigarette. I rolled up in my fucking Camaro. I rolled up. We talked for like 10 minutes, and it was like, cool, we're in, and that was it. And then I think I quit that job not that long after that.
Yeah, I remember it was short.
And that was a whole nother rigmarole. But yeah, it was just that. I liked him, and I liked the vibe of the band, the music. Rolled in, we talked like 10 minutes. I was like, cool, see, I'll be whatever we decided to get together next. But that was it. It was just like a blah, blah, blah. Cool, done. Cool. Handshake, gone. And it was it. It was like easy in a weird way, But then, you were out.
I was out.
But at that point, you were you just done with college? Or
I was done. I was living down here and didn't have a job.
You didn't have shit, really.
It was struggle fest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was I was looking for work.
Yep.
Couldn't find any work. That was also that time when I think it was a recession or the banks.
It was coming off of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and nobody was doing much of anything.
Yeah.
And it was just like, man.
Yeah, there was still a hangover from that.
I was hustling.
Yeah. And that's when we met. I remember you didn't have.
I didn't have much in it. I'm lucky I had a place to stay.
Yeah.
Granted, I could have always gone back home, but I never did that. I'm gonna figure this out. I would have stayed in my car.
Yeah.
Before I would have went home.
Yeah.
But that humbles you at the same time, learning how to make something out of nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
Just lucky I had a place to stay, but. Yeah, no job, searching for a job, not doing anything, no band, no nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
just
we would
sit around.
I came over. I was going to go over to Josh's house at the practice place. And he goes, I'll call Eric and see what he's doing. He's probably not doing nothing. Hey, Eric, come over and just come and help us out. Just could you play a beat for me?
No.
Yeah.
Eric's not doing anything. Yeah.
Well, because Josh would call me anyway because we're close.
Yeah.
We would hang out anyway.
Yeah.
Whether it was video games, going out to the bar, whatever. We're still
Right.
doing stuff. So it wasn't like I'm not looking at my phone going, "Why is this guy calling me?" And hey, you just want to come over and just help us out here, and I'm like, the thing is, I know what he's doing.
Eric is not a dumbass.
And that's why that's
Trust me,
for you. He was eventually going to get you in this band.
Yeah.
That's what Josh did.
Yeah.
He will convince
It's
you.
very convincing.
It's his.
Yes,
he's
he
like
is.
he's like a
Yes,
cult
he is.
leader.
Yeah. Right.
So eventually,
true.
I knew what he was doing,
It's true.
and I'm like, it's not like I don't like music. It's like I don't like playing
Yeah.
it.
You just don't want to
But I'm like, no, man. I'm done. I'm trying to stand my ground. I am done.
That's funny.
I'm like, whatever. Yeah, I'll come by. So.
And then it would
And
happen
he got
again.
you.
And then it would happen again. Well,
My drum set was there.
yeah, because
I never packed it up.
Yeah.
I
wow.
wasn't going to store it.
Right.
Yeah, there was
I
no
get-
reason to have
that's
it where
right.
you were living, so it's just keep it over there.
So I don't remember. Did we?
He's probably scratching your
Did we just rock on the acoustics and I played keyboard drums, or was it?
No,
I hopped on the set.
You had the kit.
Oh boy.
Wow.
I remember the first one I brought this. I had I had my fucking Line 6 Spider 2. Shout out to Line 6.
So then, what'd you guys do then? Did you just jam some riffs with each other? Then,
had-
at that point, then
I think he had Did you have a song?
The first time we got together.
Yeah.
I had already learned a couple of songs off
that's
Black
right.
Electric.
Yep.
Off of
And
what?
off Black Electric.
Oh,
their
okay.
Yeah, the
first.
first two.
okay.
I learned-
I'm
I
assuming
was-
4 years was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Motherfucking bullshit.
I actually still really like
So
that
it was
song.
just you.
yeah, there's just something about some of the songs you're
It
like,
was Johnny, Eric, and then Josh,
Josh, yeah.
right? Okay.
Just
The
at this
three
point, yeah.
Right.
it wasn't
This
a
is-
band that day. I wasn't in it.
No,
Right.
he
I was
wasn't in the
helping.
band.
Hanging out, jamming.
was helping.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah.
But I had learned
Right.
a couple, and then Josh had written
I'm done after this time.
a song
Yeah,
or two
right.
Yeah.
that we had worked out. And he was like, oh, I got this. I said, well, how about we do this? And he was like, what? Like he was, and when I say is like, I guess it kind of blew his mind, but it wasn't anything.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like for him, he was always impressed with what you came up with.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to like blow smoke or anything. It wasn't like I was like,
I believe that.
you know, anything
Yeah.
crazy, but like just whatever. Like I was able to take whatever he had and then like give it more stuff.
Yeah,
More with
Yeah, 'cause,
structure it
I
out.
mean, Josh
structure
could-
out a format, pretty much. right?
Yeah, and I was able
right.
to look at things different and do
Yes.
things different.
Well,
than
Josh
what he
could
was used
play basic chords, come up with
Yeah.
basic things.
to. Yeah.
When it started to
Could
get
play, yeah.
get
He
a little
was-
more
he wasn't
intricate,
bad, yeah.
and he saw someone else do it, like Johnny was just like, oh, okay, yeah, all
Right,
right,
yeah.
I want that.
Yeah.
You're playing.
Yeah. So we came up, we wrote a song that first day.
It was,
I think it was
what's that
Burn
one
Out My
that he
Eyes.
plays?
That sounds right. Burn out
Yeah,
my
I
eyes.
think it was
sounds
Elm
Burn
right.
Out My
Street
Eyes.
was one that he played a lot.
And then I remember him going, okay, well, we're going to get together. And I had quit my job, so I didn't have a job at this point either.
Oh, we were just bumming it.
We were fucking awesome.
Wow.
Killing it.
But I remember him
Hanging
going,
out.
hey, the next time we get together, why don't you bring a song?
I remember that. Yeah.
Okay. I forgot. So I'm driving there and I'm going, fuck, I forgot to write a song. I'm like, I just like met these guys. I don't want to let them down. So I formulated something in
Come
my
up
head.
with one in your head, yeah.
How am I all this thing? I'll use that as a verse. I'll change it later. Whatever. And he's like, I roll in and I set up and he goes, did you write a song? I said, give me a minute. And I quick do the phonetic thing and got, okay, I got it. Here it is.
Right.
And he's looking at me. I remember him looking at me, and you may have looked at me weird too or whatever. But I said, okay, this is what it is, and I play it. It's actually Over the Line.
Wow.
I wrote that
okay.
song in my
yeah,
head
Right.
on the way too because I didn't want to let him down. So yeah, that's what I wrote that song on the way over. And
Very cool.
I think I probably said it. So I was probably trying to puff out my chest a little bit too. You know, these new guys, I got to impress them. You know, but actually on that hard drive, we'll go back to that.
What year was this? I'm sorry. I just
2000.
2000.
This would have been probably early 2011,
Okay.
somewhere in there, late 2010,
Right on.
early 11. On that hard drive, there's the only thing that I'm actually on in that hard drive is a version. Might have been the first time we ever played that song
Over the line.
over the line because the
Okay.
verse is a little different.
Is it?
Yeah,
I'll
it's,
have to hear it.
I
Okay.
turned it to clean and then just did like the arpeggiated notes, you know.
Okay.
But it could have been, if it's not the first time we played it, it's one of the first times we ever played it.
Okay.
So it's interesting, but it's like it's fucking there. Like it's weird, you know. It's there, but yeah, just it's weird how that all goes together. The one thing that you're doing that you think is like working doesn't work anymore. Then you go to something else
Right.
off of that. It's very strange,
Right.
you know. But it worked.
It's
out.
amazing what you can start with and then what it actually finishes.
When did you
know?
start playing bands on Corey?
What God? I'd say around like 2015, 16, something
So
like
it
that.
was
Yeah.
a long time.
Yeah,
Like, so you didn't have like
I
high school bands or anything?
Nothing.
Really?
I just straight up learned from high school to about like 2015, and then like this guy that I actually played bass in a blues band, like a blues like cover band, like Steve Miller.
I remember
Robin
you
Trout-
saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Robin Trower. So like I got, back to all the guitar solos and all that flashy tapping, all the, sweeps, arpeggio stuff that I really wanted to learn.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, well, you guys need a bass player? Well, I want to play guitar and I want to do all that crazy fun shit. But then they were like, well, we need a bass player. I was like, oh, fuck it. I got one. Let's go.
That's
And
interesting.
then-
That's the first.
And then I really got to understand rhythm and the whole format of songs first before then, and then I went back then into soloing and playing leads and everything, and then it got easier.
Yeah. Okay.
So like I took a very strange route to playing guitar. It's because I wanted to be the flashy guy that was, playing all the solos and shit and being like, how Eddie Van Halen was turning his back to the crowd and being like, what the fuck is he doing?
Yeah.
But
What
not
is the 80-year-old woman in the crowd?
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. At this point, yeah.
the dad.
What's the dad?
I started out as actually a bass player in a blues band, and then I went to playing. Then we were called the Bluesmiths, and that was a friend from where I worked at. With a couple buddies of mine, I went and worked at a place. It was where the fuck was I working at the time? Oh, Piggly Wiggly. It was, yes.
All right.
And then they were like, yeah, we have a keyboard player, we have 2 guitar players, and we just need a bass player. And I was like, I want to play guitar, but I mean, I'll play bass. And then we get there and they're like, who the fuck's playing drums? We need a drummer.
Yeah.
And we ended up finding a dude that was originally a bass player in one of the, like, our guy that was in the band, his name was Aaron, and he,
Shout out to Aaron.
very Aaron Smith. He's amazing guitar player, all that. He was in a metal band before, and they had a bass player that just kind of knew how to play drums.
Yeah.
He was, no disrespect or anything, but he played and did his job, and then he ended up playing drums for us, and then we just played a couple shows at house parties. 4th of July parties, and then we did one gig at like out in River West.
Okay.
So, and then that kind of just like slowly, without anybody saying anything, it just kind of fell apart. And then it was just like, we aren't practicing anymore. Okay, this like it's silently just like broke up again, and then I started playing guitar again and joined a cover band.
Okay.
And that was around I'd say 2016. I'd say
classic rock.
Yeah, classic rock.
He was in heaven. I could do all the solos.
That's where I was the lead guy.
Well,
that's what I wanted to do. So
I find that interesting that you had played that long before joining a band.
Yeah, no, I wanted to learn the basics on how to get everything right and learn how to solo, learn how to play the damn thing before getting into.
Well, that's an important part then too, with how you got in playing bass in a blues band, because there's nothing that will humble you more than having to lock in.
Yeah, and it was
you find exactly where you're at in the drums, and you have to be there.
Right, and it was all about counting. 1, 2, 3, 4. It was counting certain parts where it's like, okay, well, he's playing a solo here. Now I have to write and play this riff in
12-bar blues, man.
Yeah, 12-bar blues, basically, pretty much. And it was like, I'm playing this riff here to compensate for his solo at the end. And then there's 2 parts of it where it's like me and the drummer and the keyboard player had to lock in to make the background music sound good, so that he could be the one that's, whips it out and does his thing. Yep. So that's where I learned how to get better at playing guitar, was playing bass. And
it's very you have to learn how to play with people.
Yes.
If you were sitting how you were, learning all the stuff, still not playing with people.
Right.
So that was a crash course.
Yes.
But obviously it worked out. It was a necessary step.
I got to learn how to work with a click and a metronome better, and that's what it's all about. Yeah. I see it's like, I don't need a click. Yeah, you do. That's how this works, so.
Okay, there you have it for part 1. I'm actually going to do this in 2 parts with Corey and Eric. I hope everybody thought that was fun. We had a great time, as you can see and hear. How mad are you? How mad are you? Let me know in the comments if you're mad or if you agree with me or whatever. Well, we'll be back with Corey and Eric next week, as I said. Okay, first announcement is I have launched a t-shirt store on Teespring, and it is going to feature 215 merchandise. The first couple I have, I'm going to create some more merch, maybe for the podcast or whatever. But what I want to do is the first two t-shirts, designs, whatever you want to call them, the first two designs are 215 inspired. We have our Eat Local Jeffrey Dahmer shirt, as well as the 215 with the mask. Sales from these shirts and these designs, 50% of the profits are going to go to Josh's family. So I want to help them as much as I possibly can. I love Josh. I love the family. They are my family. You know, we're all in it together. So I want to help them. I want to continue to help them the best that I can. So with the Eat Local shirts, we got sweatshirts, well, hoodies as they are called now. Hoodies, the classic tee, and then a woman's comfort tee. These are all in black. Okay. And then the other design, the 215, this is actually the design from the Soundtrack to Murder LP that we did, EP, whatever you call it, the 6th song. We got, again, the classic tee, the woman's tee, and then a pullover. So if we go to this, for instance, small, no, I don't want that. Small, all the way up to 4X tall. Actually, it won't let me take that. 3X tall, sorry. The classic tees for the bigger designs are a little bit more expensive, but they start at $19.99. Not a big deal. There's supposed to be more colors on here. They start at $19.99 for the classic tee, as well as for the comfort tee, the women's comfort tee, extra small, all the way up through 4X. And then the pullover, the hoodie, starts at $39.99. Small. Let's see, we have 3X. Yeah, through 3X. So you can get some big designs. Even my fat ass can wear them. So we're launching that. Like I said, 50% of all the profits are going to go back to Josh's family. And I want to continue to help them the best I can. It is teespring.com/stores/Johnny Ruck Tees. Go back to this. teespring.com/stores/Johnny Ruck Tees. TheJohnnyRuckTees. So teespring.com/stores/Johnny Ruck Tees. Then the other announcement I want to make is we're going to be premiering a mix of one of the new Three Left songs. It's called Bleeding Out. They recorded this at Cherry Pit Studios in Menominee Falls. That's where we, 215, recorded The Dark Passenger. Wow, that's almost 8 years ago we started recording that thing at this point. So it's been a long time. So those are the announcements. We're going to play Bleeding Out right after I stop talking. So I appreciate it. Listen to the song. We'll be back with part 2 with Corey Schmidt and Eric Peters next week. Have a great time here, week. Hope everything's well. And be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. Thank you very much.